Are you a professional who wants to become a more effective leader? Then get ready for daily tips from the coach with the experience and inspiration to help you succeed in any leadership situation. You're listening to the Meeting Leadership Podcast with Gordon Shepherd.
Welcome to another episode of the Meeting Leadership Podcast. My name is Gordon Shepherd. I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for coming here to pick up another leadership skill, another tip, another strategy that you can incorporate and take out today to make your next meeting better, to improve as a leader kind of incrementally, that sort of 5% today, 10% tomorrow, that kind of approach. It really is good to have you here. And if you're the type of leader who really appreciates the value of measuring your progress, you're going to get a lot out of today's episode. Because today, we're going to talk about how to rate your staff meetings so you can improve productivity. And to help you rank the performance of your team, I've created a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and I'm going to talk about the things that are kind of associated with the numbers all along that scale. And then by the end of this episode, you'll be able to assign a number for where your team is at right now, and also sort of an aspirational number of where you want to get to. And with that in mind, let's jump right into the lower part of the scale. Now, if you're going to give your team a 1, 2, or 3, or maybe even a 4 out of 10, that means the meetings are not going well. We're seeing behaviors like this. There's no trust or very low trust. Often, in these situations, there's open conflict. People are actually having arguments out loud. There's definitely no agenda, and no one is kind of running the situation from a facilitative point of view. People are often late. They're talking about their personal issues and things that are unrelated to what you're supposed to be meeting about. They're often, in these moments, they're on their phones because they're disengaged. They don't want to be there, and so they're not paying attention. And if things are really bad, they're making offensive comments, maybe off-color jokes. I've been in these types of meetings. They are a disaster because it just puts a chill on everybody. And the output of those meetings, it is absolutely lousy. And hopefully, you and your team are not in a position where you're giving yourself that kind of low score out of 10. But if you are, you might want to consider canceling the meetings. Or you can dig in and really get ready to change the behaviors in your meetings so that you can actually give yourselves a 5 to 8 out of 10. And when you can give your team this type of rating, here's some of the things that we see in these meetings. There's a basic level of trust. They're often consistent and they're orderly. People often in these meetings are following a structured agenda and they're doing it well. The facilitator is engaged and they're competent. And everybody, for the most part, is really nice, and there may be some conflicts, but nobody kind of wants to dig into it. They're kind of avoided in this range. And when you put all of those things together, the output of these types of meetings, well, it produces average results, which is adequate, but there's another level. Because if you're in a position to give your team a ranking of 9 or 10 out of 10, that is an absolutely outstanding score. Now, what's happening in these types of meetings? There's a high level of trust. There are conflicts, but they are healthy. The leader of the meeting is confident. They've put the effort in to be an outstanding facilitator. Everybody is contributing. Everybody is speaking up. And you're getting all kinds of innovative ideas. People are laughing. They're encouraging each other. And really, they can't wait to get to the next meeting. Can you imagine having that type of situation? Isn't that a great thing to aspire to? And of course, in the end, if you get your meetings up to this level, this is where your best product, service, innovation, outcomes can come from when your team is really cooking with gas. And now we come to the moment of truth. I mentioned the behaviors if you're giving your team a 1 to 4 out of 10. I mentioned the behaviors if you're giving your team a 5 to 8 out of 10. And I just described a 9 or 10 out of 10. So write the score that you would give your team out of 10 right now. And then take a few minutes to think about it and imagine what score do you actually want to give them in the future. Now you've got a gap. How are you going to get there? If you're kind of in the low end, really, you should just cancel the meeting. But if you're in that middle zone, wouldn't it be great to aspire to move it up to that 9 or 10 out of 10? Because if you can do that, not only will your meetings be better, the outcomes from your meetings will start to spill out across the organization. You'll actually be influencing other meeting teams around the organization, and this will definitely flow through to the customers and the community that you serve at the end. And if you actually take the time to do the rating and then improve your rating, please get in touch with me. Let me know what happened. I would love to know the results. And if you'd like to get a copy of this team meeting ranking scale, it's available in my book called The Meeting Leadership Solution. Now, I set up a 10-step system in this book, and this piece that I just described is a small part of those 10 steps. Professionals all around the world are using parts of this book to go into their next meeting to make it significantly better, and you can too. If you'd like to check it out, go to meetingleadershipinc.com/book. And I also want to let you know that this episode of the Meeting Leadership Podcast is brought to you by the Meeting Leadership Academy. If you and your team really want to get it up to a 9 or a 10 out of 10, then consider the live training options there, the online training options there. People are using them to build their leadership skills and learn how to run outstanding meetings. Visit meetingleadershipinc.com/academy to learn more. And as always, thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow on the Meeting Leadership Podcast.
Be sure to subscribe for more strategies to help you become an outstanding leader. And don't forget to rate and review so we can bring you fresh content every day. We'll see you tomorrow, right here on the Meeting Leadership Podcast.
I'm on top of the world, now I'm living. And the good just gets better, keeps on giving. Not even close to the end, it's just beginning.